What's the deal? It's your boy DJ Academics looking ass. It's your boy Shaka being that mafioso the Dun Dada. Hey. And man, I'm pissing them off, man. I'm pissing y'all off, man. I'm pissing y'all off. Listen, bro. I never claimed to be a political science major. I never claimed to be a athletic phenomenon, boy. I just watch boxing like the average person, nigga. So here we go. And I know how to whoop a nigga ass. That's what I'm saying. If you don't like it, get on somewhere, bro. I don't care. Listen, I feel like Crawford is nice. You feel me? I'm not finna do no, listen, I'll learn my shit. If y'all want me to talk about boxing, I'll learn my shit. But I'm just kicking shit on YouTube for the people. I'm kicking shit on YouTube for the people, bro. It's not a podcast, bro. This is a reaction video. I'm watching a video just like you. If you don't like it, make sure you dislike, comment, and do your thing, bro. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the hate. But anyways, for all you Spence Peace Riders, let's react to another video. Cause y'all mad today. But I got time today, cut. I got time today, cut.
Have the best fight in boxing coming up on July 29th.
Let's go!
Between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and I apologize, my voice sounds slightly.
Oh, on what is it? Cause I be working, so I get the what is it? June on July 29th. Cause you know, y'all so mad cause I'm just not a
slightly different. I'm just at the end of
Errol
fighting cold.
Spence.
Here's why I am picking
Rider.
Terence Crawford to win this fight. Here's why Terence
Come on,
Crawford
baby.
wins. Now, there's multiple reasons to pick both fighters in this fight,
Come on, baby.
and multiple different attributes that both fighters have. However, the first reason and attribute for Terence Crawford is adaptations. I believe that Terence Crawford, I am very confident that Terence Crawford is much better at adapting to his opponent.
Hey, even Porter said it. He has a higher IQ. Porter fought both of them. I don't need to have a degree in boxing to know that. I watched the fight. I paid for the fight. Watched the fight.
And he is very good at figuring his fighters out.
Come on, baby.
He's very fundamentally sound and has a very, very high ring IQ. And we've seen in Terence Crawford's career that whenever he has a tough, whenever he isn't fully dominating a fight, by the second half of the fight, he will take over. When you look at all the fights where he's given up rounds and had his difficulties, he never lost rounds or gave up rounds in the later half of a fight, unless the fight was a stoppage, obviously. When you look at the Shawn Porter fight, he figured Porter out.
This is what it is, man. You don't need to watch 100 boxing matches to know something. You see it. I know how to fight. What are we talking about? Honestly, I got a life to live, bruh.
I'd say after round 9, even by round 8 and 9, you could tell Crawford started to adjust better.
I can't look at all these niggas' stats. I can't follow 100 boxes. I can't follow 100 football teams. I'm a casual observer who know a little something.
And adjusted. When you look at Jose Benavidez Jr., that's a guy where he had some issues in the first half of the fight, but figured them out and dominated. Just throughout his entire career. When you look at Hank Lundy, he lost the first couple rounds, figured him out, adapted, and dominated. Baby. Same for Thomas Delorme or Yurkis Gamboa, Ricky Burns, etc. He'll have some issues early on in the fight.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes, baby.
He's extremely adaptive and makes multiple adaptations in a fight. And because of that, I believe that's a very strong
the main argument is he's so much bigger than him. He's so much bigger than him. In one of these videos, we broke down a 250-pound bodybuilder versus Devin Haney. Devin Haney's skill will triumph over anybody using instincts. Now, these are two world-class fighters. You can like it or you can hate it. These are two world-class fighters. So I doubt the 2-inch difference is not something. It's something that he's faced plenty of times in his career in boxing. It's not going to make that much of a difference for somebody who managed to learn boxing and become a world champion. Come on, bro.
Strength for Crawford, and the first reason why he wins this fight is adaptations. The second reason is Terence Crawford has a chip on his shoulder. Now, what I mean by this is Crawford has been getting criticized and made fun of and even clowned by many for a long time. One reason is people complain about his resume. Another reason is people complain about him being on the pound-for-pound list, being so high on that list. People talk about his inactivity. He's been accused of ducking in the past, which we all know is foolishness.
Right.
Crawford has been... he has been not necessarily targeted, but he's definitely been discredited.
Hey, they just love to hate him. They just love to hate him. They just love to hate him. Same thing with the Ryan Garcia Tank fight. Some people, they just don't like the other person. They just want to see him lose. Haney said it himself. They just want to see you lose. They came here to see you lose. They just want to see him lose. It don't even got to be a specific reason for it. Because the way they've been dick riding Spence in my comments, I already said Spence is an incredible fighter. I said he's not a bitch. He's very good. He's very good. But if you ask me, since you're tuning in to watch me, I think Crawford got it. I think Crawford has a higher IQ. I think Spence has power, but y'all hyping up his power. Shawn Porter said it himself. You got somebody who fought both of them. Crawford, stoppage. Spence, 12 rounds. Split decision. Well, I don't care about all that other shit, man. That's what it was.
Edited by many in the past, and I believe that chip on his shoulder is definitely going to help him in this fight, and is definitely going to be in his favor. So Crawford having a chip on his shoulder, as we know, Terence Crawford, he fights very vengefully in the ring. He does not punch with good intentions. He punches with bad intentions, and whenever Terence Crawford has had a true chip on his shoulder in the past, he's come to life. And I believe against Errol Spence, he will have a chip on his shoulder, and that will heavily benefit him in this fight. The third reason that Crawford wins this fight is activity. Now, neither fighter in their careers have been super active. When you look at their careers, Errol Spence since 2019, 2018 has only fought, since 2019, he's only fought 2 times, and prior to 2019, he's only fought 4 times in his entire career. He fought in March of 2019, September of 2019, December of 2020, and April of 2022. He's been very inactive. Now, Terence Crawford has not been active himself. He's been quite inactive as well. However, he does not have a 15-month layoff like Errol Spence will when this fight happens. He'll only have a 7.5-month layoff.
Spence said he'll wait a year if he got to. He won't take no fights until he get that Crawford fight, and that's what he got.
To put that into perspective, if you put Terence Crawford's layoff since his last fight against Avanesian before Errol Spence, and you multiply that by 2, you get 1 Errol Spence layoff. So Terence Crawford has been more active than Spence. He's going to be less rusty, and that will favor him in this fight. Now, the fourth reason that Terence Crawford wins this fight and that I'm picking him is his phenomenal counterpunching. Terence Crawford may very well be the best counterpuncher in the sport, if not the best, one of the best, and definitely a better counterpuncher.
And Spence get active. He get active. He throw a whole bunch of punches. What I said, he going to react to him. He going to react. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't never seen Crawford in a position where a nigga really just handles him, almost knocks him out. You know? Spence might give him a run for his money, but, hey, that's because Spence is good. But I done seen, from what I seen from Crawford, he nice with it. He has an impeccable technique.
Than Errol Spence. We've seen
saying he gonna get flushed is ridiculous.
Him throughout his entire career hurt multiple opponents, stop multiple opponents, and drop multiple opponents with counter shots and shots in combinations where both fighters are throwing, and Crawford will land and his opponent will miss. Terence Crawford's a great counterpuncher, which has to do with his adaptive ability, which was my first reason that I listed. His counterpunching will be very efficient in this fight. It'll be very good, and that'll heavily benefit him. When Errol Spence pressures and comes forward and tries getting Crawford on the ropes and opens himself up to counter shots like he did against Emmanuel Larte, the one time Errol Spence...
one thing, if you have an insight on boxing, bro, share that, man. Let's dialogue about it, bro. Let's dialogue about it. All that other shit, I ain't here for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for the community and shit like that. But at the end of the day, keep some decorum. Keep some decorum.
Spence was very
keep some decorum in my form. Straight up.
Hurt in his career, as well as the Ugas fight, where he was also countered before getting hit with that perfect right hand from Ugas right after. Spence is not immune to counter shots, and Terence Crawford is a great counterpuncher, and that's definitely another reason that Crawford could win this fight. And the fifth reason that I would pick Terence Crawford to win this fight is out of the ring consistency. Now, when you look at both fighters throughout their careers...
I ain't going to say that. They've been fighting so long. Out of the ring consistency. Yeah, you need to be in shape and stuff. But I doubt he was just sitting around, eating junk food and shit like that. He was training that whole time. He wanted this fight. So,
When you see in between,
because he got in that car wreck, came back and still beat Garcia. So, what it is.
fights, how they're looking, and the behavior they are publicly showing, Terence Crawford has a huge advantage. Now, I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm not going to insult anyone. I'm just going to make an assessment of what I've seen and what I've noticed. Errol Spence between fights will usually balloon up in weight, noticeably, probably 180, 185, maybe even slightly more. Terence Crawford would usually obviously gain a little bit of weight like all fighters do, but not gain much, probably gain 15, 20 pounds at most. And even then, he still looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's always training year-round. Errol Spence doesn't seem like the guy who's always training because we see...
That's cap. If you listen to the type of drive Spence has, that's cap. I would never say he don't look like the guy that's always training. That nigga ain't playing. He ain't playing.
Constant videos of him looking way out of shape, him partying, and I'm not saying he can't party and train simultaneously.
Nah, I will say he do be getting into a bunch of antics, But hey, if I had some money and I had a Ferrari, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't gonna lie, I might lose focus sometimes. It's just what it is. He enjoying his money, and that's one thing you got to do about it. Enjoy that money.
Simultaneously, but there are periods of time where Errol Spence doesn't notify anyone that he's training, and when you see interviews of him and videos of him, he definitely doesn't look like he's been training, if you know what I mean.
Man.
We've seen Errol Spence have some disputes when it came to him having the car accident, which definitely isn't going to favor Errol Spence in this fight. When you get into a car crash, there's no way that doesn't have some type of effect on you. And we saw in the Ugas fight, he got hurt by a shot he probably wouldn't get hurt by. Against Danny Garcia, he fought very cautiously, did not look that...
He got hurt by a shot he wouldn't get hurt by, but he distracted him. He was distracted by his mouthpiece falling out. That's why they ain't going to give it to Ugas because, bro was looking around for his mouthpiece and got hit by two of them. Now, that's on him too, but, hey, it almost put him on his ass, but it didn't.
That great. The Danny Garcia fight, he had much more issues than people talk about. Ugas was a great outing from Errol, arguably the best of his career, but out-of-ring consistency is not going to help Errol Spence. We've seen him get drunk in videos. We've seen him balloon up in weight. We've seen him have many disputes, many private issues. And Terence Crawford, no one's perfect, right? But Terence Crawford's always looking phenomenal. In training, his shape always looks phenomenal when he's out of the ring. And I think the out-of-ring consistency is heavily going to favor Terence Crawford. So, for all the reasons listed in this video, this is why Terence Crawford defeats Errol.
Oh, that's politics, man. We here for fighting. I want to see the match.
Spence, quick little recap over the 5 reasons. Number 1, adaptations. Terence Crawford's adaptive ability will definitely help him in this fight. He turns up the pace much better in the later rounds, and he has a higher ring IQ than Errol, which in my opinion will help him adapt to Errol in the later rounds. We know Crawford's not a quick starter, and he's going to get...
And if you don't believe... Hey, Porter said the same thing. So I don't know about you, but if I'm saying the same thing as Shawn Porter, I must know what I'm talking about.
Away some early rounds, but once he figures Errol Spence on...
Who fought him? Not observed. Fought him.
Figures Errol Spence out, he's going to really put it on him. The second reason is chip on his shoulder. Terence Crawford getting criticized by many.
That's not a good reason because Spence got a chip on his shoulder too.
Disrespected by many even. Will definitely add a fuel to his fire and will help him in this fight. The third reason is activity. Errol Spence has been out of the ring for 15 months once this fight happens. Crawford has only been out of the ring for 7.5 months once this fight happens, as well as Crawford having more fights since 2018 than Errol Spence.
They just love to hate.
Counterpunching is the fourth reason. Terence Crawford's a phenomenal counterpuncher, one of the best in the sport.
Come on,
Errol
baby.
Spence leaves himself open to counters very often, is very aggressive, and because of that, and has a very high output, and because of that, will be very, very possibly get counterpunched in this fight. And the fifth reason, out of ring consistency. In between fights and when they're not fighting, Terence Crawford is always training, looks in better shape than Errol, and looks healthier while Errol balloons up in weight and doesn't seem to be as disciplined as Terence Crawford. That's the 5 reasons. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What's your prediction? Who are you picking? Who are you favoring? Have a good one. Tell me your thoughts and your...
Yeah, man. Y'all let me know. And keep it respectful, man. Listen, I'm not claiming to know everything about boxing. I just love the sport. I've been watching it since I was a kid. I just love the sport. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Let's dialogue about it. If you know something, say it. That helps the stream get better. That helps the reaction videos get better. It ain't always about tearing down the first person you see. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody tripping on not knowing everything about everything. Listen, I'm a fan like you. You know what I'm saying? And that helps me. I had some people comment and tell me the sound was bad and stuff. We fix it, bro. Ain't nobody sensitive around here. But with that being said, let's practice decorum, man. Let's practice decorum in this form. Hey, it's your boy Shaka being at Mafioso, the done died the coldest nigga breathing flames. Signing out. Peace.